Hello, everybody! We made it. It's been an amazing day, and you're all still here. So thank you for being here. Hello, everybody on Facebook. This is going to be short because Ricky told me that I had to make up all the time that we went over. So goodbye. All right, my friends. By now, I hope you feel that this day wasn't just about play. This day was thinking about social and emotional development. And it wasn't just thinking about social and emotional development. We were talking about neuro development, the way our children's brains and bodies develop. And neurodevelopment is the foundation of resilience and protective factors for our vulnerable children. So once we get that right, we will be able to make a dent in some of the problems we have in our culture today, such as 3.5 million students suspended or expelled from school every year, including 250 preschoolers suspended or expelled each day in the United States. Do you agree with me that no preschooler should ever be expelled or suspended? Yeah. And most importantly, our neurodivergent children who are so poorly understood, as well as our children who have behavioral challenges. So, as we found out this morning, the National Academy of Pediatrics is now prescribing play, okay? It's healthy for all children. And yet, the predominant approach throughout the world that our children who are neurodivergent and behaviorally challenged get is component part rehabilitation and compliance training. I'm talking about splinter skills and compliance, right? That's the thing that we want to switch. And guess how it's going to switch? It's going to switch because finally the tidal wave of research on neurodevelopment is here. The decade of the brain was in the 90s, okay? But our systems and our treatment models in our graduate school programs are still steeped in a model that was taught well over 100 years ago. So, really quick, just to cap this all off. Play is a neural exercise. Play flexes the muscle of social and emotional regulation through reciprocal actions under conditions of safety. And if any one word describes what the brain of all human beings need, but especially our children, is safety. It's the most therapeutic thing we can do to boost overall development with children. And we have seen that in spades today. So in 30 seconds, let me tell you what I've learned. Literally, 30 seconds. A crash course in the autonomic nervous system. As some of you know, I am very fond of the polyvagal theory of Dr. Stephen Porges because it gives us an elegant way to understand why children have challenging behaviors, okay? And here it is. We have 3 pathways of the autonomic nervous system. We have been talking about the green zone. Dr. Lillis named it the green zone. I call it the green pathway for years now. When you're feeling calm and safe and you can think, you're in the green pathway. This is where children play, they feel safe, they engage, and they learn. What play does is it allows a child to stay in this green pathway, this ventral vagal pathway, in the brain when you're feeling physiologically safe and calm while dipping your toe into the sympathetics, into the fight or flight response. Think about peekaboo, right? When a child, all of a sudden, you can't see your caregiver and you get that little tiny surge of fear. And then all of a sudden you see them and they're back. You're going from green to red for just a second to green again. It stretches the muscles of emotional regulation. Likewise with when we go down to the blue pathway, which is shutting down. Today you saw multiple examples of children through play exercising their fears, using play as a vehicle to show what is inside of their heart. As Alicia Lieberman said, the fears that lie within. That's what play does. So play is an exercise that integrates top-down and bottom-up functioning in real time, and it also allows you to incorporate thinking and feeling. It is so highly therapeutic. It truly blows away our models that are being used to help children today, our more traditional models, which are highly reliant on repetition and adult-led learning, and not co-regulatory joy. So this is what we want to do. Just this study I found recently, preschoolers in a play intervention, and this was a RCT, okay, so a gold standard type of study. Preschoolers showed reduced salivary cortisol levels in that group that got play. So play is something that calms us down, and there are more studies coming down the pike, but play decreases stress. And who doesn't need decreased stress? So I say let's move away from a focus on altering surface behaviors to a focus on building brain health and human connection. Yeah. And who knew in the 1970s that this woman would discover, decades before the decade of the brain, what children needed to develop resilience. And I will add my name to that very long list of people whose trajectory of my whole career shifted once I started practicing in a way that respected relationships and, most of all, individual differences. It has blown me away so much, it made me become an author, which I never thought I would do. So, because it works. Play is a neural exercise because it recruits the power of human compassion and presence. It shifts our approaches to be neurodevelopmentally respectful, and it allows us to help heal suffering, promote joy, resilience, and most of all, building in self-determination, which is our children's right for our beloved and vulnerable and precious children who deserve the very best. Thank you.